Hey everyone, this is going to be a quick demo of using Timeshift in Linux, specifically Linux Mint. Now I thought this would be good because, well, Timeshift is good to know about, and I think it's important to know how to use this. So this is not going to be comprehensive. This will be me demonstrating how I use it. Obviously this is not the only way to use it. Of course, if you know computers, you know that there are tons of ways to do the same thing. So you just have to choose the way that works best. So I have Mint here on my Mac because, yes, I installed it on my MacBook Air. And for those of you that are curious, this is the exact same Mac that I had when I started the channel. So this thing is still going. And yes, this is what we're going to demo this on. So I have actually opened up the Timeshift program, and there's a few ways you can do that. If you hit the Windows key or the I think it's called the sleeper key in Linux land and type in Timeshift, that's TIMESHIFT, and hit enter, it should find it and run it. You can also go to the update manager and choose system snapshots from the edit menu, and there's probably a bunch of other ways. I don't tend to use this program that much. I tend to use this at the command line, but the reason I'm explaining this to you is because we're going to go through the initial configuration, which I prefer to do using this graphical tool. Though you probably can configure it from the command line if you know what you're doing. I do not. But let's dive into this. So I've opened it, and when you first open it on a clean install, you get this window here where you have to choose some options. So I'm going to use the Orca object navigation commands, which will be different if you're in laptop or desktop layout. I'm in laptop right now, so I'm going to hold down Control, Caps Lock, and hit the right and left arrows.
BTR, RSY, select snapshot type label. No preview, RSYNC, selected radio button. Create snapshots using RSYNC tool and hard links. BTRFS, not selected radio button grade. Create snapshots using BTRFS.
Alright, this button is not available, so you can only create them using rsync, I think is how you're supposed to say it.
Help toggle button collapse. Setup wizard. Spinner. Please wait. Label. Setup wizard. Refresh push button. Disk table column header. Type table size. Free table.
I'm just going to read all that stuff. So I'm just going to tab here.
Help toggle button collapsed. Scroll pane. Next push button.
We'll hit next. And let's go read here. Why did it just lock up on me? Well, that's not good.
Previous push button grade.
There we go. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Actually, that might be the application. Okay, I guess there was some kind of progress bar going. And this is what I mean. When the application is doing stuff, it seems to lock up Orca, which is why I don't prefer to use it.
Setup complete label. Setup wizard. Click to edit. User home directory. Refresh push. Finish push. Next. Previous. Scroll pane. Apple SSD. Refresh push button.
Okay.
Finish push button.
So this is a little confusing.
Refresh push button.
So if I go right here from refresh, so I was tabbing.
Disk table column header. Type table size. Free. Name label table. Apple SSD 0128 FAT expanded. 121 gigabytes.
Okay, this is the drive.
App scroll pane. Apple SSD 0128.
If I down arrow.
SDA2, X4, 118 gigabytes, 97 gigabytes, tree level 2. SD card reader Apple, tree level 1.
It's detecting the SD card reader, and sorry if you can hear Kathy in the background making very odd noises. I can't do anything about that.
SDA2, X4, 118 gigabytes.
So basically, because I've done this before, this is asking you where you want to save your Timeshift snapshots. You can save them to an external drive, but you have to partition it properly, and I don't know how to do that. And generally, I really don't care. So we're going to save it on the boot partition, which is slash dev
SDA2, X4,
slash SDA2. Of course, this being a drive, this has a 128 gig drive, so
scroll
we're
page,
going to hit
previous, next,
next.
finish
I
push,
tab here.
monthly, number of snapshots to keep,
Okay,
finish push
so
button,
if I tab from here,
monthly checkbox not checked, number of snapshots to keep, older snapshots will be removed once this limit is exceeded, to spin button,
okay, there are different checkboxes here. If you want this to automatically create snapshots, you can do that. So you would check the box, like say,
monthly checkbox not checked,
this is the box for monthly. So if you wanted it to be created, you know, once a month, I believe, you can
checked,
check it.
number of snapshots to keep, older snapshots will be removed once this limit is exceeded, to spin button,
And then if you up and down arrow through here,
text unselected, 3, 4, 3,
so I was going up and now I'm going down.
2, 1,
This specifies how many snapshots you want to keep, and it will manage that automatically.
weekly checkbox not checked,
Here's the box for weekly. I'm going to actually uncheck all these because I want to create them manually.
number of monthly checkbox not checked, number of snapshots to keep, older snapshot, weekly checkbox not checked, number of snapshots to keep, older
And
snapshot,
this is the same thing.
daily checkbox checked, not
I
checked,
don't want daily snapshots.
number of snapshots to keep, hourly checkbox not checked,
You can do it on the hour. Yeah, that's crazy. Like if you're super paranoid,
number of snapshots to keep, boot checkbox not checked,
you can create them at boot. I think it waits a little bit. I think it waits like 10 minutes before it creates the snapshot, just to make sure that it doesn't interfere with things.
number of scroll pane,
Excuse me.
previous, next push button,
So I'm going to turn all these off, which means that these snapshots are completely controlled by the user. You have to manage them yourself. You have to make them. You have to erase them.
finish push click to edit,
Now,
drag and drop to reorder, table, crite, /home/crite, exclude all files, checkbox checked, include only hidden files, checkbox not checked, include all files, checkbox not checked, not selected,
okay, now I had it read that because I wanted you to see what that was about. So this is a list of directories that you can have it save or not save. So if I down arrow,
selected,
this is C right is my user account that I created. This is the standard user that does not have root privileges.
root, exclude all files, checkbox checked, include only hidden files, checkbox not checked, include all files, checkbox not checked,
And this is the other one for the root account, which I don't think root is enabled by default. You can certainly enable it if you wanted to. I don't recommend it, but you would just have to set a password from the terminal using the passwd command. So let's actually go through this here. So you can have Timeshift back up your home folder. The downside, obviously, is if you need to restore a snapshot, it will replace all the files in your home folder with the contents of the files from the snapshot when you took it. Again, you may prefer this, you may not. It just depends on you. Like I said, Timeshift is not necessarily meant to be a backup tool, although I suppose if you save them to an external drive, it can be classified as such. But I prefer to use it as a system restore tool. And trust me, this works way better than it ever did in Windows. Because in Windows, I think it only backs up like the registry and maybe some system files. But this will literally restore everything if you want it to. So I'm going to go back up
crite/home
to my user account. And now if I press the right arrow,
home/crite,
that's the
exclude
label.
all files, checkbox checked,
Exclude all files. This basically means it won't back up your home folder at all. So if you want to preserve everything, the way it was, you would keep this unchecked, or checked, I suppose.
Include only hidden files checkbox not checked.
If I right arrow, we get to the include only hidden files box, which I am going to check with the spacebar. It didn't tell me. Let me go back to the left and to the right.
Include only hidden files checkbox checked.
Yep, so it didn't tell me it was checked.
Include all files checkbox not checked.
And if I right arrow, there's an include all files, which, as you might guess, will include all the files and the folders in your home folder. Now I'm going to set it to hidden files because this can be quite useful. So in Linux, anything with a period at the beginning of it is considered hidden, and your home folder contains a bunch of hidden files and folders with a period in front of them. Like you'll have a .config folder, .local, and a bunch of things in there. Usually those hold preferences for different programs, and you may actually want to save those in a snapshot just in case you're doing things and you're not sure of what you're doing, and maybe you want to go back and you want to take your preferences back to the way that they were without touching your personal files in things like downloads, documents, pictures, and things like that. So
include only hidden files checkbox checked.
So we have that checked.
Selected.
Now let's go down to root.
Root. Include all files checkbox not checked.
I'm going to do the same thing. I don't think there's anything in here, but I prefer to play it safe.
Include all files checkbox not checked.
Left arrow.
Include only hidden files checkbox not checked.
Now I can check it. Now I can check it with the space bar. It's not going to tell me. This application is not the most accessible, but don't worry because we'll be controlling it from the terminal. Now if I up arrow.
/home/crite. Exclude all files. Checkbox not checked. Include only hidden files. Checkbox checked. Include all files. Checkbox not checked.
And if we listen carefully to what Orca is saying, we know now that it is configured properly, and I'll go down.
Root/root. Exclude all files. Checkbox not checked. Include only hidden files. Checkbox checked. Include all files. Checkbox not checked.
Yeah, so what this means basically, again, if I don't know, put some music files on my desktop and then I restore the snapshot that I am about to create, it will not touch those files. It will only restore the hidden files in hidden places in the home folder, which again is usually preferences and things like that.
Previous next push button.
So hit next. And
scroll pane, finish push button, scroll pane, finish push button.
Really, there's some text here. I'll read it just for the sake of completeness here. So hold down caps lock control.
Next,
go left arrow.
Bullet set user set schedule set up.
Wait, let me go back here.
Keep our set keep label.
Oh,
number of snap setup keep label. Number of set keep number of stop bullet snapshots or not stop cron emails for schedule tasks checkbox checked. Grade. The cron service sends number of snapshots to keep. Older stop cron email. Keep boot checkbox not checked. Setup wizard. Keep label. Hourly check. Setup. Keep daily check. Setup. Keep weekly. Keep monthly. So setup.
Yeah. Okay. These are the options that we just saw. I think they're grayed out though because we've already checked them. But if I keep reading here, it's
number
to
setup.
the right.
Keep number setup. Keep number stop bullet snapshot. Setup wizard. Select the intervals for creating. Setup with user home directories are excluded by default unless you enable them here label. Click to edit. Included home subvolume and backups checkbox not checked. Setup wizard. Setup complete label. Bullet scheduled snapshots are disabled. It's recommended to enable it. Bullet system can be rolled back to a previous state by restoring a snapshot bullet. Restoring snapshots only replaces system files and settings. Non-hidden files and directories in user home directories will not be touched. This behavior can be changed by adding a filter to include these files. Included files will be backed up when snapshot is created and replaced when snapshot is restored. Bullet saves snapshots to an external disk instead of the system disk to guard against drive failures. Bullet saving snapshots to a non-system disk allows you to format and reinstall the OS on the system disk without losing snapshots stored on it. You can even install another Linux distribution and later roll back the previous distribution by restoring a snapshot. Close window to exit label.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what that checkbox is about sub volumes. Again, I'm not an expert. I just want to use this as a basic tool to
Scroll
restore
page. Finish. Scroll.
the
Finish.
system.
Timeshift GTK frame. Create push button. Create snapshot of current system.
And here we are in the program itself. If I tab,
Table.
this is your list of snapshots. If I up and down arrow, it doesn't really say anything because there's nothing in here. If I tab
Scroll pane. Scroll pane. Scroll pane. Create push button.
and get
Create
to
snapshot of
create, if you hit the right arrow,
restore push button. Restore selected snapshot.
you can restore.
Delete push button. Delete selected snapshot. Browse push button. Browse selected snapshot.
I think that lets you look at the files that are stored in the snapshot.
Settings push button.
These are the settings. I'm not going to take a look at these. I'm not sure how accessible this is. I think it's somewhat accessible, but for the purposes of time, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a quick look in here.
Settings frame. Type. Selected radio button.
So you have a group of radio buttons here. If I tab,
Location. Not selected radio button. Schedule. Not selected radio button. Users. Not selected filters. Not select miscellaneous. Not select RSYNC. Selected radio button. Help toggle button. Scroll pane. OK push button. Type. Select location. Not selected
okay,
radio
yeah,
button.
so basically you can come in here and change different things. If I hit the space bar on
Selected.
location,
Sketch. User. Filter. Refresh. Apple SSD SD0128 FAT expanded. 121 gigabytes. Tree level 1.
again, we saw this in the setup wizard itself, so if you need to come in here and change some stuff,
Scroll pane. OK push button. Top. Locate. Schedule. Selected.
this is the scheduling page. Again, if maybe you change your
User.
mind,
Filter. Miscellaneous. Monthly checkbox not checked. Number of snapshots to keep. Weekly checkbox not checked.
we've already seen this, but again, these are just ways to come back here and change things if you change your mind.
No, month miss.
I'm going to shift tab.
Schedule. Select users. Not selected radio button.
Yeah, so we're going to tab over to users, hit the space bar.
Selected. Filter. Miscellaneous. Click to edit. OK push. Click to edit. Drag and drop to reorder. Table.
If I down arrow,
Crite. /home/crite. Exclude all files. Checkbox not checked. Include only hidden files. Checkbox checked. Include all files. Checkbox not checked.
so yeah, this is just a way to
filters.
change things.
Users. Select filters.
Filters,
Selected.
I believe this lets you exclude different things.
Miscellaneous. Click to edit. Drag and drop to reorder. Table. Plus checkbox checked. Dash. Checkbox not checked. /home/crite/dot ***. Not selected. Selected. Plus checkbox checked. Dash. Checkbox not checked. /root/dot ***. Plus.
Oh yeah, I think this is just telling me the filters that I currently have applied, which is basically anything in my home folder or the root folder that begins with a period. If I right arrow,
Checkbox not checked. Pattern /home/crite/dot ***. Add push
again,
button.
I'm not gonna.
Add files push button. Add folders push button. Remove push button.
Yeah, you can add different things here.
Summary push button. OK push button.
I'm not gonna mess with these.
Type. Locate. Schedule. Users. Not filter. Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Selected.
Let's look here real quick.
%Y, %M, %D, %H, %M, %S combo box. August 11th, 2019, 20:25 and 43 seconds.
I'm not sure what this is.
Date format label.
Oh, date format.
%text. Select snapshot location label. Refresh push button. Tree table. Information. Bullet devices displayed above have Linux file systems. Bullet devices with Windows file systems are not supported. NTFS, FAT, etc. Settings. Monthly checkbox not OK push. %Y, %M, miscellaneous. Select %OK. %Y, %M, %D, %OK push
Yeah,
button.
it's not gonna read, or it's not gonna let me tab
Type.
through here.
Not
I'm just gonna hit escape.
location. Type. OK.
We'll just hit OK.
Timeshift GTK frame. Create push button.
I
Create.
didn't make any changes to the settings, so yeah, that's basically how you can modify things if you need to. I'm gonna close this program with Alt F4.
Desktop. Trash.
Or technically, it's Option FN F4 because the function keys perform their hardware functions by default, not software. So you have to hold down FN on the MacBook keyboard. And all right, so let's open the terminal with Control Alt T, or of course in my case that would be Control Option T.
Crite at Mint Mac. Frame.
And we're going to create a snapshot here. So I'm going to run sudo or sudo. So it's going to be sudo timeshift, timeshift, space, dash dash create, create. And if you just wanted to leave it at that, you could, and it would tag it with the time and date. But I'm going to hit the space bar, and I believe this goes dash dash comments, comments, a space, and then in quotes, I'm going to hit quote, shift apostrophe. We'll just say working configuration.
RIFNOC.
Configuration. And then add a quote after that and hit enter.
Sudo password for create.
Asking me for my password, because of course in Linux, you're always asked for your password. I'll type that.
Mounted /dev/sda2 feedit /run /timeshift /3350 /backup. Estimating system size. Creating new snapshot, RSYNC, saving to device, /dev/sda2, mounted at path, /run /timeshift /3350 /backup. Syncing files with resync. 0.00% complete, remaining.
And it's going to take some time here to create the initial snapshot. Now, if you are creating more snapshots, I believe it will take less time because it only updates snapshots if there are new files that have changed. But since this is being created for the first time, it's going to take a little while. So if I read the terminal here and see here.
Syncing file 0.00% complete, remaining.
Yeah, and again, the reason I prefer to do it this way is because it doesn't lock up Orca. I'm not sure why the Timeshift graphical application does, but I don't find it very accessible anyway, so I prefer to use the terminal. Because, well, once again, if you're blind, I really do think that the terminal is the better way to go because you have 100% access. Of course, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't strive to make all the applications accessible, because we absolutely should. But, as I'm sure you know, we do not live in a perfect world. We will never live in a perfect world. The world is built by and for those that have vision, and, well, we have to adapt. They do not. So, if this takes much longer, I'm going to have to pause the recording, but I just want to see if I can jabber here, and you can see just how long it takes to create the initial snapshot. Now, obviously, this is going to depend on the speed of your computer. This Mac has an SSD, so it shouldn't take too long. The other thing to note is these snapshots can take up some storage space, so I think it's going to use like twice the space it is using right now to save the snapshot, but that's okay because I've got plenty of space. And like I said, these are extremely useful. So right now this is going to be a test just to give you an example. But, you know, maybe let's say you install a program and you don't like that program, or it does something to your computer. You can roll back the snapshot and the program is gone. The configuration data it creates, pretty sure is gone unless it's not saved in a hidden folder in your home folder. You know, or maybe you are upgrading your computer. Maybe you're going to upgrade
Notification
to
Timeshift RSYNC snapshot saved successfully. 198S. Cried at Mint Mac, $.
198 seconds. That's not too bad. That's like 3 minutes. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. But yeah, you know, maybe you're upgrading your operating system and something goes wrong, or you just want a way to go back. You can restore your snapshot, and you're right back to where you were before you performed the upgrade. So yeah, that all works out pretty well. I do believe as well that you can boot from a live environment and restore snapshots that way too. So
Desktop. Trash.
close the Timeshift program. So at this point, the snapshot has been made. Let's make some quick changes here. I'm going to
Screen reader. Okay. General voice speech page tab.
say, I'm playing around. Let's change the voice.
Voice speech system. Speech synthesizer. Combo box. Default synthesizer.
We're gonna go
Voxen.
to eSpeak.
Speaking.
Yeah, we don't want
Language.
Voxen.
Person. Combo box. Speaking default voice.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll go with this voice.
Okay.
Screen reader settings reloaded. Desktop. Trash.
So I'm just doing this because I want you to see what will happen when I actually go through with the restore. So let's do that. Let's say,
Mac.
let's open the terminal again. Let's get rid of, let's do a sudo apt remove Firefox and LibreOffice. So
Sudo password for C-Write.
just type my password.
Stop. Reading package lists. 0%. Done. Building the Do you want to after this operation? 272 MB disk space will be freed. 0 upgraded. 0 newly installed. 2 to remove Firefox. The following packages will be removed. Firefox Mint Chat.
Ooh.
0 Firefox Mint Chat.
Why not? Let's just get rid of some programs. This is really quite a bad idea because now I don't have a web browser. Let's get rid of apt remove VLC.
Reading package lists. After this upper 0 VLC, the following packages will be removed. Reading database.
Right, so
line feed.
We're going to get rid of that.
Processing C-Write at Mint.
Let's do something else here. Let's change my password. So I'll type in PASSWD.
Changing password for C-Write. Current password.
I'll type my current password.
New password.
And we'll type, let's just make my new password destroy the system. All one word.
Retype new password.
DESTROYTHESYSTEM.
Password updated successfully. C-Write at Mint Mac. $.
And let's do a reboot here. Sudo reboot. Computer's going to reboot. I'm going to make a few more changes in the login window. There's the little Mac chime. And I'm just going to wait for it to come up here. It should come up using Ava from Voxen, of course. But we'll just give it a sec here.
Screen reader on. Login screen frame. Enter password for Chris password text.
Alright, let's go into the preferences. Caps lock space, because I did change.
Bullet.
Wait.
Selected.
Oh no, I didn't change it. Well, you know what? That's okay. We'll just leave it. Yeah, I forgot to plug in an external keyboard and
Caps lock off. Caps lock on. Caps lock off.
Change the mode to desk or to laptop so I can use the Orca modifier. Let's just go ahead and log in here though. I'll try logging in with my, let me try the old password. Or no, let's go with the new password. Destroy the system.
Enter password for Chris password text.
Destroy the system. Hopefully I didn't just break my system. I don't think I typed it in the right the first time.
Screen reader on.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so as you can tell, the password has changed. I've changed the voice. If I go into the applications menu.
Extract internet menu, Discord, Thunderbird mail, transmission, web app, Discord, Thunder, internet office, sound, cell, sound, rhythm, hypnoc, celluloid.
You know what, just for fun,
desktop.
Let's get rid of Thunderbird 2. So we'll do sudo sudo apt remove Thunderbird.
Sudo password for C-Write.
Destroy the system.
Reading package lists. 0. Do you want to after this upper via Thunderbird? The following packages will be removed. Reading database. Processing
All right.
line.
So it's gone.
Process is right admin.
Now let's say, obviously this is a very bad idea. If I go look at my list of programs.
Frame.
Oops. Why is it not doing it?
C right admin Mac.
We'll just leave the terminal open. We'll do FN option F1
Menu.
for the menu.
Access Internet Discord. Transmission. Web app Discord. C right admin Mac.
Now let's say I want to go back. I messed up. I really don't want to do that. I want my preferences back. I want my programs back. We're gonna run sudo timeshift -- restore.
Mounted /dev /sda2 @ /run /timeshift /2359 /backup. Select snapshot. Num name tags description 0 greater 2025-02-17 08-59-26 working configuration enter snapshot number equals abort p equals previous n equals next blank 0 greater 2020.
So 0 is what I want. You could hit
N.
Well, actually, I don't think it's gonna. Let me try N.
Num name tags description blank 0 greater 2025 78 characters.
Yeah, so I think the greater next to the number means it's highlighted. So you can either type the number you want if you have multiple, or you can hit N or P to go back and forth.
0 greater 2025-02-17 08-59-26 working configuration.
And as you can tell there, it gave me the time, and you're probably glad I put in the comment there, because that tells you what it is. So I'm going to type 0. Even though I probably don't have to, I'm just going to do it just to be safe and hit enter.
78 star to restore with default options. Press the enter key for all prompts. 78 star press enter to continue. Reinstall Grub2 bootloader. Recommended Y/N.
I believe it's default to say yes. I'll just type Y and hit enter.
Select Grub device. Num device description 0 greater SDA ATA Apple SSD SD 0128 FMBR 1 greater SDA 2X4 120.8 GB 2 greater SDB Apple SD card reader M.
I'm just going to hit enter.
78 star 70 equals warning 70 equals data will be modified on following devices. Device mount /dev /sda2 /dev /sda1 /boot /fe. Please save your work and close all applications. System will reboot after files are restored. 70 equals disclaimer 70 equals this software comes without absolutely no warranty and the author takes no responsibility for any damage arising from the use of this program. If these terms are not acceptable to you, please do not proceed beyond this point. Continue with restore Y/N.
I'm going to type Y and hit enter.
Mounted /dev /sda2 @ /run /timeshift /2350.
We're going to hit the control key because it's just going to jabber. You can use the Orca flat review commands to read the screen if you want to.
Blank building file list. Blank building file list.
But at this point, it is automated.
Done.
And what's going to happen? It's going to do its thing, and it's going to reboot once the changes have been made. And with any luck, I should be able to restore back to before I made all these horrible changes. Which means my password will go back to what it was.
6.home/c/right/.old.d.6.home/c/right/grader f.6. Installing for x86-64 platform. Installation finished.
And it should bring back all my programs to you that I deleted. But we'll find out here in just a second.
Line feed, run parts, executing /etc/timeshift/restore hooks.d/.
Oh, and okay, quit talking. Yep, I heard the little Mac chime. The system is rebooting. And it should come back up in just a second here.
Screen reader on. Login screen frame. Enter password for Chris password.
Now let's try my old password. Well, actually, let's try the new password. Destroy the system.
Enter password for Chris password.
As you can tell, that didn't work because I went back in time. So let's try the old password. which I will not tell you.
Screen reader on.
And as you can tell, the voice has gone back to Ava. We're no longer using eSpeak. If I go to the desktop here, with
Desktop.
Control-Alt-D,
Icon view. Trash.
there's my trash icon. Let's hit Alt F1 or Option FN F1.
Menu. Accessories menu. Grab. Internet menu. Discord. Firefox web browser. Matrix. Thunderbird mail. Transmission. Web app. Discord. Firefox web browser.
Look at that. There's all my programs back.
Office. Sound and celluloid. VLC media player. Trash. VLC media player frame.
And I can open them up. I can close out of them.
Desktop. Trash.
So, yeah, that is how Timeshift works. And if you wanted to delete your snapshots, let's show that off real quick.
Cried at Mint Mac.
We'll do sudo timeshift -- delete.
Sudo password for Crite.
Type my password. Not the new password, the old password, because again, we went back in time.
Mounted /dev/sda2 vita. Blank. Enter snapshot number. 0 greater February 78 characters.
Type in 0.
Removing February 17th, 2025, August 26th, 1959. 0.00% complete. Remaining.
And it might take some time. But once it's done, I'll get my disk space back. And yeah, so that's basically how this works. It's a pretty cool tool, and I'm glad.
Process 2206 glib.gio critical ** 914 and 58.
Wait, is it done?
78 cried at 78 characters. Removed February 17th, 2025, August 26th. February 17th, 2 tick 2 0 2 5 dash 0 2 dash 1 7 9 0 8 dash 5 9.
Yeah, okay, so it's the date and then the time.
9:15 a.m.
But yeah, we're just gonna, yeah, so.
G assertion GIS output stream failed.
Wait,
Process 2206 blank G assertion GIS output.
did it fail? Let's do a sudo timeshift -- list.
Mounted /dev/ no snapshot found. Cried at no blank. First snapshot requires 0B. Status no snapshots on this device.
I guess it did work. I'm not sure what those messages were about. I'm gonna type exit.
Desktop.
So yeah, that is how you work with Timeshift. I hope you found this helpful. Make sure I'm still recording here. Yes, I am. I'll just check the status bar of Audacity. Yeah, so hopefully you guys found that helpful. It can be quite a useful tool to have. And like I said, I don't really think there's anything like it. Mac OS, of course, you have Time Machine, but Time Machine doesn't back up the system anymore, and neither does any of these, neither do any of these other third-party programs because of the changes that Apple made. But of course, in Linux, your computer is truly yours, and as you just saw, you can do all kinds of cool things like this. So yeah, I hope you guys have found this useful. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, let me know. Again, this is not a comprehensive tutorial. I haven't showed you everything that you can do because I don't know everything. But yeah, so until next time, you guys take care. Bye.